So your brother, you said this a couple weeks ago, right?
Yes.
You said Chris Cuomo wants his brother Andrew to give up politics. This is exactly 7 days ago, August 22nd, New York Daily News, right? And I'll just read the quote and then you can respond to it. I wish he would want to remove himself from that process because of how ugly it is and how reductive it is. This is you talking about your brother. Why do you want him to give that up?
Okay. We all have family, right? Okay. Not like mine. My brother raised me. My father was so committed to public service in a beautiful way. First generation, English wasn't even his first language. And he saw the ability to serve as giving back to something that had given our family everything. So my brother, like I said, was saddled with a tremendous burden. And part of it was raising me. I lived with my brother in the same room. Imagine doing this. He was in his 20s. We're 13 years apart. I know I look much younger and I'm much more handsome and stronger than he is, but we're 13 years apart. He lived...
Throw that right in there, Chris. Good for you.
We lived in the same room when he was in his 20s.
What?
And we're not just brothers, okay? We're very, very tight. The idea that I wouldn't help him in any situation ever is an impossibility to believe for anyone who knows us. What I've seen him go through and how he has handled it, okay? It doesn't matter if you believe the allegations against my brother or you don't. That's not my point. My point is, whether they're true or not, he endured things that a lot of people would never be the same after. And I believe, look at me. I mean, we have pictures of Andrew looking just like Andrew, and I am, like Brooklyn. And then I come up, and then eventually I'm bigger than he is. So, I feel like, why would I want someone I love to be exposed to something so ugly that is designed to destroy him? He says 3 things. 1, you're soft. 2, I believe in service. It is all that matters to me. People throw opportunities at Andrew to make money. Guys like you will be like, I got to have this guy on my team. I want to walk into a room with this guy. This is it. It doesn't move him, okay? And the third is he believes that until the day he dies, he wants to be a part of something bigger than himself. I, as his brother, don't want to see him exposed to people trying to drag him backwards, find things, destroy, attack. So as a brother, I don't want that. If he decides to run for office, I'm with him 100%.
I got one thing to say about that. My opinion is it's not going to get any worse than what he's already experienced, which means the ugliness of how they've gone after him and the mistakes and the stuff that he's done. When you're in politics, you're going to make mistakes.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what it is.
Yes.
You're left, right, center.
And he signed up for all of it.
He did, yeah. But what I'm saying is, think about the pressure of the ugliest moment and the day. I think he's graduated that pain. So whatever he does now for him internally is, when you're building a business, you're going to be backstabbed and you're going to make public mistakes that are humiliating and everybody will know. And the more public your persona is, the more humiliating it is, because you can go to a restaurant and you're going to hear 3 people sitting there and they point at you and they laugh and they make that one look and you're like, oh, and you want to go up and say something. That whole look is different than when it happens in a boardroom. But then you do that for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And then the levels get higher and higher and higher. And then when you're by yourself in your room, in the car, nobody else is around, and you say, okay, Andrew, you're good now? Yeah. All right. This is the 5th and last run. Let's go rip them apart. That's the mindset of the individual when they're in it. Now, I don't know if he's there or not. I'm just saying his argument.
He is a warrior.
Yeah.
He is not a happy warrior. He is just a warrior.
Yeah.
And look, if he decides that's what he wants to do, I know that he's overwhelmed by how many people are asking him to do it. He did not expect that. And I don't even think he needed it, frankly. But he's trying to figure it out. And obviously, I talk to him all the time. But again, as a brother, all right, I totally respect that. I'm protective. And he's all I got, My father is gone. I just lost my godfather, who was my last connection to my father, his last best friend.
When was this?
2 weeks ago.
Sorry to hear.
And thank you. And beautiful guy. And Andrew, you know, he raised my whole family. So Andrew and I, it's like, you know, we're all we got. And on that level, man to man, you know, we're blessed with kids and other, you know, people we love. But I just, watching what happened to him, I'll tell you something, and you guys can gladly beat me over the head with it. So I got fired because I supposedly did dirty shit for my brother to help him deal with what was going on in his life with his allegations. The most painful experience I've ever had in this business was that I actually believe I didn't do what I should have been doing to help him in that situation. So it's an interesting thing. I'm accused of things I didn't do, and I feel the worst about what I didn't do. And I didn't help him. You know, one of the last things my father told me was, and he always said this, he didn't need to say it to Andrew. He needed to say it to me. You don't have to tell Andrew to care about his own. That's, I mean, you know, the guy is alpha all day long. He said, be there for your brother. Your brother's going to need you.
He's saying that to you.
My father said that to me. Be there for your brother. Your brother's going to need you. You guys have each other. There's a blessing in that. Never forget it. And I never will. Then the guy needs me and I don't get it done. He winds up having to resign over stuff that he didn't do. And
do you take responsibility for that?
Yeah, I do. I failed him. And so the idea that you got fired for doing things that you actually didn't do, that you think you probably should have been doing, because who doesn't get to confront their accusers? But so that's a little bit of a weird emotional situation for me. But so that's where I'm coming from. Oh, no, he should run. Yeah, easy for you to say. Oh, he would win. Maybe. But I don't want to see someone I love exposed to a business that I know, because the idea that, well, it's different now. I wish I believed exactly as you do, Patrick. The worst is over. Not in this business. Not in this business. This business is all about building up and tearing down. I've been saying this about Harris. You think that it's going to stay like this? There's zero chance. Why? Won't be selling and clicks the same way. They'll start doing what we do. And it's not conspiratorial. It's not even cynical. We build you up. Look how nice this is. Maybe it's not as nice as you think it is. And you go back down. It's not a coincidence. You see narratives go up and down all the time. Same shit's going to happen with Harris and Walls. You've seen it already with things, but you'll see it more pronounced as we go along. Why would I want someone I love exposed to that? Now, is it my call? No. Does Andrew agree with me? No. Does Andrew see it through the lens that I'm looking at it? No, he dismisses the lens. You sign up for it. You take the punches. I want to serve. I want to be about something bigger than myself. I respect it. I'm with him. Whatever he wants to do, I'm with him. But as a brother, I'm coming from a place of love and protection.
That totally makes sense. Adam, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep it super brief and keep it.
I'm sorry if I'm talking too much, by the way. I apologize.
This is actually my question. Perfect.
Is your question, why do you talk so much?
Actually,
so
yes, Chris. That's it. Well,
I'm crossing you off.
No, I'm running. But here's the reality. People come up to me all the time, Cuomo. They're like, "Oh, what do you think of Cuomo, man? What's up with that guy?" And I go, I'm not even going to go political here. I'm just saying, as real and as genuine and as kind of a dude as I've ever met. Real. The first time we ever met, I remember we came to PBD's house. You were wrestling with Dilly Boy and just keeping it, you're being you, man. And then you don't even know this, but in 2020, Pat and I, when we were starting the podcast, Pat, he's talking about you and your brother. I like these guys, man, because obviously there's a lot of similarities. He's a father, 2 sons, all that. But I'm saying that you are real. Now, the beginning of the segment, we showed the audience that epic rant, Cuomo. You weren't asking questions. You weren't being a journalist at that point. Dude, you went off and it was real and it was authentic and that's going on. But here's my challenge. Here's my question. So you know how on Rogan podcast, he'll say something political aspirational, whatever, and then he'll use sort of like the defense mechanism. Hey, but I'm just a comedian, man. What do I know? I'm not here for this.
Yeah, and he's right.
Okay, but before we started the podcast, you said almost like a shield defense mechanism. Look, I just ask questions for a living. I don't know nothing. Why are you following what I'm saying? I just ask questions. Dude, we're asking your questions. There's a journalist and then there's a pundit. You're also a pundit. You have strong convictions and strong feelings. Like, look at this right now. You're not being a journalist. You're keeping it real.
Yeah.
So what you're doing right now, this is sort of your next phase because you have strong feelings. I'm not saying you're running.
I've always been the same way. I would never be involved in elected politics. But look.
Was there a question there?
I'm saying...
What just happened the last 2 minutes?
No,
bro?
the question is...
You tap me like you have a question. What just happened right now?
I'm
bro?
saying...
I'm trying to help you run for office.
No,
and I'm sitting here listening. We just did a freaking full-on campaign to put you on the ballot.
Thank you. There was a question. He was going to answer it.
Get to the point or I'm going to get warmed up.
You look at Tucker. You think Tucker's a journalist at this point? He has strong feelings.
I don't think he's ever been a journalist.
Okay, bingo. You look at Hannity. You think he's a journalist?
I don't think he's ever been a journalist.
Okay, you look at Megyn Kelly. Boom. You even look at Caitlin Collins. She has journalists. You're in that same... You have feelings, man. You have... Stop hiding behind being a journalist.
Listen,
you have opinions, is my point.
Listen, two things can be true at the same time.
I agree.
Okay? I think the labels are less important than the practice. The key is transparency, okay? And transparency matters more today than it ever has in my 25-plus year career, okay? Why? It used to be, I'm not going to tell you how I feel about the Ellsworth-Sosnick ticket, but I'm going to be asking these questions and I'll say that this is good. And because I'm not telling you what I think of it, you can believe, but it was almost a kind of a fiction of the unknown, that I'm being fair because you don't know how I feel. Whether that worked or not, it's over. And now the presumption has flipped, which is, I don't know if I can trust you. Tell me what you think so that I can judge whether or not you're being fair. Most of us haven't leaned into that yet. I am leaning into it because I believe, look, I can say, I like Patrick Bet-David, okay? I like him. I like what he's about. I love spending time with him. And he shouldn't have picked you up and thrown you again across the room. He was wrong when he did that. You know I like him, and you know I think that was wrong. That's where we are. So what I'm doing with my work, and you can call it whatever you want to call it, is I'm not there's a fire on Fifth and Elm, okay? That's not what I do. I've done it. I've never wanted to be that guy. I don't have to be first. I'm a why guy, okay? I do analysis. Am I a journalist? I've won almost every journalism award they give it out on television. So obviously somebody thinks I am. But, but you said that you don't like the two parties. Yeah, I know I don't. And I'm just being transparent. Am I fair? Yeah, of course. I cover them like everybody else. So that's where I'm coming from. I don't think the labels matter. It doesn't matter. Are you Megyn Kelly or are you Walter Cronkite? Whatever. Everybody is given opinion, given information, given perspective, and you go where the marketplace wants to go.
Did you see this, Tom, this morning? New candidates, outsiders are wanting. Can you come in this late? 2 candidates are running for office this late. I don't know if that's even Rob. This is what story is talking about this? What channel is this?
Let me pull it up. Hang on one second.
Why would New York Post and New York Times talk about these 2 candidates? Can you pull up the campaign on what their slogan is? Pull up their campaign on what their slogan is. Here we go. The latest campaign. Zoom in, Rob. Zoom in. Ellsworth Sosnick 2024. Shut up, you little. It's their slogan.
Well played, guys. Well played.
Rob, can you do me a favor and play the clip for people know where this is coming from? By the way, can you have ever seen this?
Joke.
If that shirt exists and I don't get one in an extra medium before I leave, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Guys, that shirt
Pat.
is here.
I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it. You give it to me. I'm wearing it right now.
You got to be kidding.
This guy's getting naked on camera right here. What is happening right now? Ladies, don't look. Look away. You're not gonna.
Rob, go to my Twitter
Thank you,
account. It should
Cuomo.
be on there right there. If you just go on my Twitter.
This is good.
This finally something I can get behind.
That's what she.
You gotta turn a little bit.
Ellsworth Sosnick.
Shut up,
So,
you little bitch.
This
Just what my mother used to tell me.
have you seen this clip on what happened or no on the
No.
podcast? Is this it, Rob?
We're doing this now.
Oh my
This is what
God,
we're
we have
doing?
to show. So on the podcast, this is a couple weeks ago. Adam and Tom are going at it, and next thing you know, okay, Tom, Rob, it's right there. If you just go on my account, you should be able to see it. I retweeted it.
Oh, okay.
I'm texting it to you as well. It's not hard to find. I think it's 6 down. Yeah, if you keep going, 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 you keep going. It's about to come up. Go one more right there. Okay. This is why the campaign started, folks. And you guys talked. Go ahead and play this clip. This is just a very special moment between the two candidates, the president and the VP. Go ahead.
More balanced. Oh, I read.
Tom, what's your point, dude?
I went into the,
what are you doing
oh,
here?
you're trying so hard, you little bitch. You know, it's like, it's like, you know, it's what you have.
Tom, you're the smartest guy in the room. You're rambling on and on and on.
Almost killed Vinny. Almost killed Vinny.
That's why he's not here today.
To
Tom,
you.
no shit. Give us what's your
Open
point?
the textbooks, baby. So
You can pause it right
have-
there. So for those of you that support the Ellsworth and the Sosnick ticket,
Yes.
and you like their slogan, this will be limited merch. We will never sell this again, guys. I'm telling you right now. If you want to go get that gear, 2024, that's the merch right there. It'll sell out. We don't have a big amount of shirts. This is less than 500 shirts that you can go order. So once you order, it's out. It'll be limited edition. People won't see it. But we also have this one, which I freaking love. You'll see me sporting this one here. It's the Future Looks Bright 2024
There you
I can
go.
get behind this
campaign
one.
shirt and the red one. Pick and choose either one of those. You can go on vtmerch.com to place the order, but this is a special one. All right, sounds good.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.